Hello, thanks for clicking on this video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I was able to create this everyday blushed eye makeup look. These colors are colors that can be found in any eyeshadow palette, so just make use of what you have and let's just get right into this video. So I started by applying my concealer onto my eyelids just because I want to get rid of the hyperpigmentation that I have on my eyelids. Then I went ahead to blend it. You can use a concealer that is about like 1 to 2 shades higher than your normal skin tone, so that you can properly get rid of any redness or any discoloration that you may have on your eyelids. But if you do not have any discoloration, then you may as well go ahead and skip this step. But I love to do this because it's like when I'm painting, it gives me a very lovely canvas to work with, and it just makes my eyeshadow colors pop a little bit more and just makes everything blendable, if that makes sense. So I like to do this first. I can use any concealer, I don't have any preference, and you can also make use of an eyeshadow primer if you have one with you. Okay, so just because I have hooded eyelids, I tend to raise my brows when I'm trying to blend this in to avoid the concealer entering those lines that I have and then making a mess out of everything I want to create. After a few seconds, I go back again to ensure that it's blended properly and there are no lines formed on my eyelids. After doing this, I go in to apply translucent powder on my eyelids to just set everything in, just because I made use of concealer. Okay, so you can use your setting powder as well, but ensure that it's one that does not have color. You know, we have the banana ones that are like a bit yellowish, but try and go for the ones that have like normal powder color that like suit your skin tone, if that makes sense. So then into the actual tutorial, I'm going with a small dense flat topped brush. I don't really know the name of the brush, but it's like a foundation brush but smaller for like eyeshadow, and it's like flat at the top. So I just use this to just pack in the first color I want to use as the base color for this tutorial. As you can see, I'm just stamping it. I'm not doing any blending for now. I'm just stamping it, and you want to go in bit by bit because this is a bright color. You do not want to go in with so much and then realize that okay, you have so much on your face already. So I go in bit by bit, just applying it and just pasting it on my eyelids. As I go on with this, I then begin to spread my hands around the circumference of my eye so that everything can be properly spread out, if that makes sense. Then I'm just going to use the same brush to just go over the edges, then blend it upward so that it just looks seamless. And using the same brush with the same color to run over my lower lash line. This has become an habit of mine. I do not know when it started, but I just love the look that it gives me when I have the same color up there and down there. I also like to just take this out to the corner of my eye, just because it suits me like that. I really don't have any reason. You guys will pardon me if this is not giving what's meant to give. This is my first time doing eye makeup for like long form content on YouTube, and it feels kind of different because I'm used to doing this for like TikTok, Instagram, and it's my first time doing this here on YouTube as a long form content. So bear with me, guys. Right now I'm just trying not to get eyeshadow in my eye, no poke the stuff into my eye. So that's just what I was doing. So right now I'm going in with a lighter shade of pink. You can see that it's much more lighter than what I have on my left eyelid. So this is my second color that I'm using. This is what I wanted to be on top to serve as a form of coating to the one I have underneath. So this is the actual color that we are going to be working with. This is the actual color that you can see is in the final result. So this is it, and I'm just taking my time, like I said earlier, to blend it. Bear in mind that I'm still using the same one brush. Okay, so Do not let anyone deceive you that you need to have, yeah, those brushes have their specific purposes, but trust me girl, if you can make one brush work for you, you can make one brush work for you. I'm a fan of using one. I don't like switching brushes in between, just stressful man. So right now that I've blended everything, I'm just going to use a shimmery sort of whitish matte color to just lift my eyebrows, just at that high bone, that arc of my brows, so that it just sort of blends with the blended part of that pink, and it just gives this nice lifted look for my eyebrows, if that actually makes sense. I don't even know. So right now I'm going in with a pinkish shimmer color, and this is the style girl of this look. This is what I'm after. You can choose to leave your matte, yeah, if you want something for like every day, but just in case you're going out for the night, or you're going for a party or dinner from first, something like that, I want to just glam it up, this can work for you. If you don't want to use the shimmer, I wanted to go all matte, just do a cut crease and you're good to go girl. But this girl loves shimmer. Anything glitter and shimmer, count me in. So I'm just going little by little, because this glitter, this shimmer actually does fall out a lot, and I'm just trying not to get it everywhere on my face. So I'm just using that small paddle brush to just pat everything, and then I go in with the same brush, yeah, the same shimmer, and apply it on my lower lash line. I saw this on TikTok and I'm like, okay, let me see how it's going to look like. So that's what I just did, and I just went back and forth, upper eyelid, lower lash line. I just kept doing it back and forth, back and forth. So I also bring this down to the inner corner of my eye, because it opens my eye a lot more when it's there. And going over with the same brush, this is a paddle brush by the way, just because I forgot to mention it earlier. This is a paddle brush, and I'm just using it the same way, the same method, taking it bit by bit and applying it onto the desired areas of my eyelid. For my eyeliner, I'm making use of a gel eyeliner. If you are a beginner, you want to use this guide before you start making use of the liquid ones. This one is forgivable and it's way easier to use, okay? So right now, I'm just starting off with defining how I want my wing to look like. So many people have different techniques, but this just works for me. So start by like drawing from the inner part of my eye, like just a straight line. Then I try to define the angle, the shape, the direction of where I want my wing to look like. So basically I work from in to out, then pay more attention on the out, then come back inside, if that makes any sense. So right now I have defined the direction of my wing, how long I want it to be, whether I want it to head west or south or north or east, and then I begin to just fill it in and try and connect it back to my eyelids, if that makes sense. I really hope you can see, because I'm not really doing justice by explaining it, but just follow through with your eyes. It's quite visually explainable. So that's just what I'm doing, and I'm just bringing it back. You can always go back to take more gel if you want, and that's the good thing about gel eyeliner. If you're using the liquid ones, any small thing can just destroy your eyeliner game. So this is very comfortable for me. In fact, I'm using a brush that I can easily swing with, and not a pencilish kind of thing that is very easy to make mistakes with, if that makes sense. So next, I'm just doing the same thing. I think this is much more clearer from this angle. I have just defined the line of my wing, or just defined the wing of my eyeliner rather, and then I'm connecting it back to the main eye. Okay, so I'm going to go back and fill it in to determine how thick I want the wing to be, or how thin I want it to be, or how fat I want it to be connected with to the actual main eyeliner on the eye. Okay, So another good thing about using a gel eyeliner with a brush is that you cannot easily poke your eye with this guy as compared to when you're using those ones that have a very tiny tip, because God knows the number of times I have poked my eye with those things, and then you now begin to have like black ink in your eye. It's just not pretty. Yeah, and they actually hurt sometimes. So this is another reason why I prefer this guy. So as I've defined it, then I can go with these guys to just make it a little bit darker and to just make any crooked line straight. Okay, so I'm not discarding one. I used one to get the work done for foundation purposes. Then I used the liquid one to make it darker, to make my wing more winging, and then to just make any crooked undefined lines rather, to be straight. Then I like to use these guys actually for the inner corners, those ones that like that part that is very thin, so I use it for that. As you can see here, I'm using it. It's quite obvious here that I'm using it to make these lines darker. Yes, so the gel might not be so dark because you're trying to like be cautious because it's foundation. Yeah, so once you've gotten that right, then I use this pencil and see how thin the mouth is. Yeah, so after doing that, I go with my lash coiler to just prepare my lashes for my lashes, and then I use my lash coiler to curl my lashes up to ensure that everything is in proper arrangement of how it's meant to be. And I go over this because I have stubborn lash hairs. Yeah, they're quite stubborn, so I go over this like more than once to ensure that I'm capturing every lash from the roots, and I'm trying not to also stain my eye at the same time. So after doing this, I go in with my spoolie and just brush it, because like I said before, the lashes are quite stubborn, so sometimes you have to take like extra effort to put them into shape. So after doing this, I go in with my flat brush and concealer, the one I used to prep my eyes initially, and I just do this to clean up the bottom part of my wing, because it's not all the time that it's going to be straight. Okay, if you're a pro, good for you, girl, but some of us are not still pros at this, and I like that clean bright under eye from where I get my liner from. So I just do this to clean up any mistakes that I may have made, and just then go ahead to just apply my concealer. So this next step is basically known to everybody. This is just me applying concealer to cover up my under eye circles, and also at the same time try and clean up any mess that I might have made from my lower lash line to my winged eyeliner. So this is pretty basic, just doing the normal blending using my blending brush, and then I also go in with a beauty blender to just take out the excess one that is formed on that wing. So doing the same thing here. So if you're not so perfect with your wing, yeah, this guy can always save you from any mishap, but be careful not to end up cleaning your wing, because that happens a lot of times. Okay, so right now, after I'm done blending, I'm going in to apply my setting powder with my powder puff onto my eyes, not like on my eye, basically like where I applied my concealer underneath my eye, to give me this lovely bright under eye that every girl literally loves. So that's what I just did right now, and then I'm making use of the NYX waterproof mascara to run through my lower lash line. Since I already applied lashes on my upper lids, yeah, my upper lashes, I don't always sometimes go with mascara up there because it's still gonna get hidden either ways. So I just use this mascara on my lower lash line so that it can give volume and match with the intensity of the upper lashes, if that makes sense. So while doing this, you want to be careful if this is your first time working with lower lashes with mascara, because you can easily stain your entire makeup. All it takes is just one extra move put in the wrong direction, and that is it. And this is the finished look. This is what we're able to achieve. I mean, this look took me less than 10 minutes to accomplish. It took me 15 minutes plus because I was filming and I had to get the angles right, and I had to ensure that I was recording every single time. But honestly, in like 5 to 10 minutes you should be done with this look. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in another video. Bye.